Madam Speaker, I rise to support this bill and congratulate the committee and the chairperson, Ali Roba, for the intensive work that they put in order to have this bill in place, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I think it is long overdue that the issue of additional funds is given a legal framework that will then guide the counties and guide the allocation of this money and the utilization thereof, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this bill seeks to provide for additional allocations in the year 2022-2023. Madam Speaker, it also seeks to direct the proceeds of loans and grants as given by development partners, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the bill also seeks to facilitate the transfer of conditional and unconditional allocations, Madam Speaker, to counties from the consolidated fund to the county revenue funds and special purpose accounts, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this bill will also guide on the allocation of other funds as agreed upon by the Senate and the National Assembly, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I think this is long overdue and needs to be implemented. This House should pass this bill as soon as possible with the necessary amendments, Madam Speaker, and which I agree particularly with the Senator Mungatana on the issue of equalization fund, Madam Speaker. That it is good that the equalization fund is mentioned as a fund that should be implemented, and it's also long overdue, but should be given its own legal framework, Madam Speaker, so that it gets the necessary attention and gets directed to the right counties, Madam Speaker. Because it is interesting in our country, Madam Speaker, that whenever people see resources and or even opportunities, everybody wants to grab it, Madam Speaker. And yet, the law, the 2010 Constitution, had identified loopholes and omissions in our areas of development as a country, that there were areas that were left undeveloped, either by design, either by omission, or whatever it was, either because of political processes, maybe because of not having numbers. Minorities are living in these neglected counties, Madam Speaker. And so, Madam Speaker, the equalization fund is important that it is treated on its own, Madam Speaker, so that it benefits the right counties, Madam Speaker. I'm particularly excited about this bill, Madam Speaker, that it also seeks to get funds for drought mitigation, Madam Speaker. Particularly at this time when our, like more than half of the counties are going through the effects of a crisis level of drought, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, our constituents, our people have been left paupers because of the drought, Madam Speaker. And there must be a way to mitigate the effects of this drought. There must be a way to now bring, climate smart agriculture, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is good that water and sanitation is going to be addressed, particularly in counties like Kajiado, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I also see that in this bill, Madam Speaker, that we are still talking about county headquarters, almost 10 years after devolution, Madam Speaker. It is shocking, Madam Speaker, that there are counties that still don't have, places to operate from. We don't know whether they are operating from kiosks, whether they are operating from, their personal homes, Madam Speaker. It is unimaginable that we still don't have county headquarters in some counties in this country. And Madam Speaker, I also agree, and I see that the issue of leasing medical equipment is mentioned here. And I agree with the honorable senators who have spoken before me that the Kenya Kwanza government must be very intentional in delinking itself with the ills of the Jubilee government, Madam Speaker. We must have a fresh start as the Kenya Kwanza government. We must delink ourselves from the KEMSA cartels, the COVID cartels that are very well known to be associated with such equipments, you know, just to milk resources from counties in the name of giving counties resources that they have never seen or they have never managed, Madam Speaker. I am sure our counties will be possibly better equipped if they were allowed to do their own you know, procurements and have their own medical according to the needs of each county, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I support this bill, Madam Speaker, also so that it directs funds from development partners and that the Treasury is involved in you know, facilitating such agreements between counties and the development partners.
Senator Wambua, what's your point of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker,
Senator Perry, cede the floor.
It is not my intention, Madam Speaker, to interrupt the floor by my friend, my colleague, Senator Perry.